So it makes sense to think about what expense centers can you turn into profit centers. The next thing is turning expenses into profits. So this is good old Jeff Bezos with Fulfillment by Amazon, FBA, and also Amazon Web Services. I remembered this article in Business Week, and I went back and searched through all their covers to find it, because when I saw it, I was like, this guy's brilliant, and I can't believe that they're giving him a hard time. So in November of 2006, when AWS launched, or about that time, Jeff had this idea, hey, I got all this server space and all this tech, how about if I rent it out to other people? And Wall Street and Business Week said, CEO Jeff Bezos wants to run your business with his web technology. Let's take a look at it. So net sales, not net income, but sales after returns and stuff, for North America from the 2019 Amazon report, $146 billion, and profit of $7 billion. Not bad. Not fantastic, 5%, right? 66 billion international, a little bit of a loss because they are still building there, but that's never really been a challenge for Amazon. Anybody want to guess what sales for AWS were? 26 billion, right? But how about the profit? 7.4. More than North American sales. Way more than combined sales if you put that in. 7.4 billion, 400 more million, right? And that was a cost center before. In fact, AWS earned 11.7 times the profit on almost 88% less sales. That is something to pay attention to. So I said, how can we turn expenses into profits? And the first of our company to do it was Perry Belcher in our content marketing business. So one of the shared services that we have for all of our other companies is content. We have a team in the Philippines that does all of the content for all of our websites, not digital marketer, but all of our e-commerce websites. So they make videos and write articles and all of that kind of stuff. It was costing us about $50,000 a month to have that content team do that stuff. And that was a straight out expense. So we said, what if we turned that into content as a service, and we started selling our content creation to other people? So we created a company called Platter, and launched it at Traffic and Conversion Summit, I believe it was 2016. Almost immediately, but let's just say it was about 6 months. $300,000 a month in recurring revenue. Bonus, it's monthly recurring, but it's $7,000 a month from each customer. And it's not all profit, like we didn't get to say, well, it's not $250,000 a month profit, because we had some expenses once we started scaling. We had to get account managers and things like that. But instead of $50,000 a month, $600,000 a year in costs, now we've got $91,000 a month, almost $1.2 million in profits, right? So it makes sense to think about what expense centers can you turn into profit centers. I gave this speech, and Tucker Max was listening, and Tucker has a company that I'm an advisor for called Scribe, where we write books for people. We've published over 1,000 books, got a bunch of New York Times bestsellers, right? Cool business. It used to be for 40 grand, we'll write your book, launch it, et cetera, et cetera. And he's like, damn it. He said, I've got all these services, but all these other people who've already written books don't get to have access to our services because we only write books first and then do all these other things for 40 grand. He said, I can have our graphic designers design book covers. I can have our editors edit existing manuscripts. I can have our launch team launch books once they get written. I can have our speakers bureau arrange for all these people to speak. I've got 9 new profit centers in my business, but not only that, I've got 9 new entry points for customers. So thinking about this and how you can break down cost centers and turn them into profit centers can be significant, right? It obviously was for Jeff Bezos. Identify your biggest expenses. How can you convert them to income, and then offer them as new products and services? It's pretty simple. The exercise for doing this is listing your top 7 expenses. And I'm going to walk through ours because you might say you can't possibly turn the top 7 expenses into revenue, but you can. Inventory, payroll, lead gen, events, facilities, content, and fulfillment were our top 7 expenses. You can sell all of that stuff. I'll show you how. Can it be MRR? Yeah, it actually can if you think about it. For inventory, what if we become a wholesaler of our supplies and our inventory? Instead of selling just retail, direct to consumer retail online, let's also sell wholesale. So our bath bombs business, we were selling $7 bath bombs. But what you do is, instead of just selling the $7 bath bombs, we started getting inquiries from people like mom and pop bath stores and things like that saying, can we buy wholesale? And we're like, absolutely. So now we have wholesale orders. Instead of like an order for $14 for 2 of them, we have a $15,000 order for a bunch of them. So that's one way we did that. And we didn't even care if they were selling against us, because it allowed us to buy our supplies at a lower cost because we were buying in bigger bulk, which then made us think, what if we sold to other bath bomb manufacturers? So we'll sell the fragrances and the supplies as well, which allows us to sell more, which allows us to get a lower price. And so that's how that worked for us in turning inventory into that. Same thing with payroll. We started doing, first we did obviously the content team. We also did outsourced customer service. And now we have like an assistant thing. Perry owns that because we sold that off. Lead gen and media. Almost everybody needs help with that. So I'll show you with bolt-on businesses how we turn that into a profit center. Events. Now Deanna's team runs events for other people. We charge between $25,000 and $50,000 to run an event for somebody, plus our sponsorship company, because we have the momentum, because we didn't sell that to Clarion. Remember, back to structure. Again, all this stuff locks in with each other, right? Deanna's team does sell sponsorships also, and we charge 30% of gross for that. So we might run an event and make $100,000, or more. You do a few of those a year. Every $100,000 helps. I've always said, right? Okay. So anyway, lots of ways to do that. If you've got facilities, you can rent them out, sublet them to other people. Our content team, obviously, we turned into the content business. Even fulfillment, we have our own pick, pack, and ships center. So we started offering pick, pack, and ship, which is basically just shipping services to other people too, kind of a mini FBA.